Okay, let's be muted. Now, to trade this new strategy, which basically I call price level entry, you will need to have obviously downloaded the Supremo Auto Trader. Now, when we talk of Supremo, I know we do have a channel called the Supremo Signals that generates trades for us, about 15, an average of 15 trades for us every single day. But we also have a software, a robot, which does a whole lot of beautiful things. It is called the Supremo EA. EA as in expert advisor. So what that does, is that it has a number of entry strategies there. It does manage the trade. It enters the trade for you. It manages it and closes it for you. Now, I already have it installed here. You can see the top right-hand corner. It says GWA Supremo EA subs, blah, blah, blah. Now, the version you want, well, actually thinking about it, I'll tell the guys to upload this new version on the website tomorrow. So the version you want is the one I have here, which is VN 3.5. Okay, so you click on here. If you click on it, click on the smiley face there. It brings up this settings window. I suppose what could happen is, okay, it brings up this settings window. So when you click on the smiley face, at any time, it brings up this settings box. This is basically where you would set up, have all the settings. You can see here, just follow my cursor. It basically says, strategy, these are the variables. The column on the left is for the variables. The one on the right is for the values. So the strategy here, if you go click on here, it basically shows you, it gives you the options, the different trading options. Whoa, that is loud. Let me shut the other. Let me shut down the other. Okay, so basically, there are various options there. The one we have been used to trading, for those who have been trading using the Supremo is loaded. The Supremo Auto Trader is loaded. The one we have been used to is the Precision Trader Advanced. I know I haven't taught you how to use the Precision Trader Plus structure, but at some point, we'll be looking at that. So the one we want now is the price level entry. So make sure that is you choose that, and you can see the area here for price level entry. I have numbers in there already, because I have taken some trades, not test trades. I've taken some trades this night, just so I could show you. I showed the members some of the trades before I started my own session tonight. But if those trades are still on, then fine. I set them for 30 pips. If they're not there anymore, it means they've hit take profit. Okay, so the way to trade this is basically you want to come and input some numbers there where you want the trade to be taken. How easy can that be? You want to come to this bit. Obviously, there's nowhere else for you to input such numbers. That's the price, the price, other than where it says price level entry. So let's close this, and let me show you where or how you go about it. Now, we have taught in the past that we trade breakouts. We trade breakouts. So even as we have this one, well, let's go to the 1 hour. You want to trade it on the 1 hour. Actually, let me see if the trades are still open. Wow, they are all closed. Anyway, Some of you here, saw the trades earlier on. They were like 22 pips, 24 pips. Obviously they've hit 30 pips and they are done. Like I say, it is something you want to use for scalping. But yes, you can basically go all the way with it. I mean, if for instance we enter a trade here, it can actually go as far, well, that's just 14. That's 1 minute. We don't want it on 1 minute. We want it on 1 hour. If for instance you enter a trade here, it can come as far as this. It basically, like most of our trades, it loves to trade trends. We love trend trading at GWT. Now, the way you would enter the trade, let me just go where I was. Where was I? Okay, well, ooh, this one is still open. Okay, fine. That's one of them still open. So the others have closed, but this one is still open. Imagine getting, into a trade at about 6 o'clock in the evening UK time. That is good, and it still, picks up some good trades for you. Now, for those of you who don't know, let me quickly just throw this in. This is 18 pips. This is 18 pips. Depending on your lot size, basically how much you invested in this trade, that could mean £1.80. Yeah, very little. But believe me, if you invested more, it could mean £18. And if you invested even more lot size, that could mean 180. Like I always say, just keep adding zero at the end. If you basically invested, a standard lot, that could be 170 in your pocket in less than 2 hours in the evening, perhaps after coming back from work. I've told you guys, some of you are going to check your account in a week or two and you're going to wonder, is this me? The strategy is not difficult. It's very simple. It's so simple, you are going to need somebody to actually show you how not to do it right. That's how simple it is. You will need somebody who is very skilled at persuading people to show you how not to do it. Now let's carry on. Let's not get too excited. Let's just carry on. So what do? We love to trade breakouts. So let's trade breakouts. Let's take this off. Oh yes. So what to do, how to trade it, is basically you would look for a place where you are expecting the price to break out and continue in that direction. So if you place the trade, if you check the number here, the price here, just follow this with your eye to the right. You can see the price for this Aussie dollar Swiss franc is 0.65556. Easy. So what you basically do, just copy that number, maybe add a pip on 2 on top, and that is the number you're going to take to. That's the number you're going to place in here. Note that here it says entry price buy closed, entry price sell closed. So basically this is for a buy. If you're anticipating that the price is going to go up, you will place the number here. Can the mentors please let people in? Thank you. So if you are anticipating that the price is going to go up, you will place it here. If you anticipate the price is going to go down, you place it here. We know what that is, to buy and to sell. We sell currencies only, that's what we do. So that is basically what you do. So if at the time you came to your chart, the price is somewhere around here, let's assume all this has not happened, all this have not painted on the screen. Let's just mark it up. Let's mark it up, man. Here we go. So let's assume all this bit in blue has not painted on the screen yet. So this is basically what you can see. Well, as a matter of fact, let's move this a bit more. Okay, very good. So let's assume all these bits in blue have not painted on your screen. This is what you can see. Perhaps this is a candle you can see, or this candle. And you see that there was a high here. Oh, it's going to get easier, guys. you see there was a high here. You can basically come with your crosshair and just, follow it to the right-hand side and check the price. There it's 0.66, well, 0.65557. You can basically go with that number, or you move it up slightly. Now, this is the high of this in this area. Among all these candlesticks, this is the high. Now, with this one, the high is kind of like, you can't quite tell which is quite the high, but I can tell in a sense, but I'm sure you can tell. But what I'm saying is it's a bit difficult. So what you want to do anyway, you want to place your crosshair above both figures, well, both candlesticks, and choose the number on your right, which the crosshair shows you. Whenever you see there was a price, whenever you see a swing, we know what swings are. When the price moves up like that and goes down, it forms some kind of structure high, a swing high. So what you want to do, you are looking for the break of that high. My, listen to this, watch this, watch this, watch this. So whether it's swinging high, or swinging low, it doesn't matter. You can trade the breakout. You could have traded this breakout. There are some times when it will be the case that, it will be a trade that does not trigger. What do? You keep on moving your price point. You keep on going back into here to adjust it each time. So let's start from here, for instance. Let's say this was the swing high. Obviously, this is the lowest price there. You can move let's make it broken lines, because I tend to represent the entries with magenta broken lines, or broken magenta lines. So let's assume this was the swing low. You figure out this price here, and then you go in and type it into the settings box. Now, look at this. I mean, looking at this now, it's a swing low. So you're not expecting, the price to move up. You are expecting the price to break low. That's the whole essence. You're looking, if it's a swing low, you are expecting to enter the trade when the price breaks low. If it's a swing high, you are expecting to get in when the price breaks high. Very easy, easy peasy. You place that number there in the section where it says, in the column or the cell where it says sell, not buy. If you place it in the buy, it might not trigger for some time, but it might eventually trigger, because as long as this is left as it is, it will trigger. So when you enter this trade, that's why I say it's good to have a trade journal. You want to enter it in your journal, because this is not just a sell stop or a buy stop. This basically is a different kind of entry, whereby whatever number you place there is where it will trigger. So that number there, let's just delete these ones, because these are old figures now, old information. We now are looking to trade. We're wanting to sell short, and that is, I know you might not be able to see the number there, but I can see it. I'll just read it out for you. That's 0.65245. So that's the number there for a sell. You don't always have to have something above and below. You don't always have to have a figure for the buy and the sell. If you're wanting to sell, just have a sell. If the price is in such if it's in a range, then you might decide to place it on both, knowing that if the price breaks above to the upside, it's going to trigger. If it breaks to the low, if it breaks down south, it will trigger. So what you do with that, once you have entered it, you then want to click on OK. You don't want to close it like that. You want to click on OK to accept it. It has closed. Let's go and see if it's still there. You can see that figure is still there. Okay. So what we now do is, having entered it here, we're waiting for the price to break. But guess what happened, guys? the price kept on going up. It didn't come down. It didn't come down. It only came down here. Now, this is the 1 hour time frame. How many hours is that? Let's see. From here to here, about 60 hours. How many days is that? That's not what you want. That is not what you want, guys. So what do? Let's make it easier. You bring out the fractals. Bring out the fractals. A lot of you have seen fractals on my chart before. I'm sure you've been wondering what that is for. I know I have seen fractals on Cecilia's chart before. I'm not quite sure how she trades it, but maybe at some point she would teach me as well. Now listen to this. To bring out the fractals, you will basically come here. No, not there, not there, not that's for templates. You will come here, indicator list, and you will see fractals there. Now, I have fractals listed here because I use it a lot. You know, if you've not used it before, it will not be here. It will be under Bill Williams. God bless Bill Williams. I love his indicators. All these indicators are indicators from Bill Williams. You know, so you click on fractals. I love mine as magenta. Click on it. Voila. You see what happens there? All these arrowheads are now placed there. Now, just in case you don't understand or know what fractals are, I'll quickly go through it. I won't go through it in details. Well, not today. Maybe during some other sessions I will. But fractals appear in nature, you know, well, appears almost everywhere in nature. Like I say, I'll go into details, you know, some other time. You know, just like Fibonacci, those of you who would be wanting to learn Fibonacci at some point, they appear everywhere in nature. Now, these are fractals that are formed, by 5 candles. You know, fractals are formed by more candles, but the one we have on our MT4 is formed, you know, by 5 candles. So you can see this is the one that has the arrowhead or the fractal. A fractal is formed with, you know, by 5 candles, with one of them being in the middle, sticking out. In this case, it will be the highest point, you know, of the price for that period. You know, you will have 2 to the side, to the left, and 2 to the right. So whenever you see a fractal, you would usually see 2 candles to the left and 2 to the right. Now, if you do a Google search, you know, after this, you will see other types of fractals. Sometimes you could have 2 arrowheads, you know, 2 candles, you know, side by side, you know, with a number of candles on the left and some on the right. But this is a 5 candle formation, you know, that we have on the MT4. You know, so whether it's, you know, a bullish fractal or a bearish fractal, you know, it has 1 sticking out, which 1 is the highest, and 2, you know, on the left, which are lower, and on the right. Now, I call this the bullish fractal formation, and this the bearish. Some people will call it the other way around. I still am trying to get my head around it. I suppose in a sense, it depends on how you trade it. You know, some people will call this a bearish fractal, you know, which basically means, you know, so I basically call this a bullish fractal because I'm looking to buy, you know, when I see this. So to make it easier, guys, how would you trade this? You know, we just marked here a while ago. Let me lock this up. Oops. Okay, you know what? Let's take this away now so the screen does not keep moving. Okay, so let's go with this. Let's say I was looking to enter this trade for a sell. You know, so I've seen this fractal. Whenever the price breaks, because whenever you see a fractal, guys, it's a structure high or a structure low. Now, it could be it does not have to be a major. When it's a fractal, it's not necessarily a major structure high or low. I mean, I'm sure you will see some major ones. Obviously, this is a major one. That's a major one. a major one would stand on its own in the sense it will be so, distinct, as clear as day, night and day. Whereas you could see other fractals kind of like, almost ranging there. But look at this. Let's go with this fractal. We are looking to sell. We enter our price point here on the Supremo EA. But guess what happened? There was not, we didn't have the opportunity because the price never came to break this low. Instead, it kept on going higher. So what you would do instead, you can keep on moving it, keep on moving, don't stop, keep on moving it, keep on moving the fractal, keep on moving the fractal until it breaks it. But you see what's happening here? You see what's happening here? The market is playing games with us. Well, that's what you think. I'll tell you why. The price is going up. Why would you want to be selling when the price is going up, guys? Of course, we don't do that. We don't do that at GWT. We know better than that. When the price is trending up, what are we doing? We are looking for the ones to buy. We're looking for a buy, not a sell. So you see this, for instance, you place your price point here. Now, you know what? I think I'll share with you first how to trade with this without Supremo EA. So at least you understand the principle or the concept behind it. Each time you place your price there, you're looking for a break. You're looking for a price break. You placed it there, the candle went down, it came up, it didn't break it, it eventually broke and closed above. It has to close above. It broke and closed above that line. Guess what happened? Your trade was triggered. Boom, 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 bada boom. My goodness, how many pips? That would have been 44 pips. Again, I would say that could be £4.40. That could be 44 pence. That could be 440. It could even be 400. It could be 4,400. And if you have an even bigger account and use the bigger lot size, it could be 440. My goodness, the market wants to give you pips and profits. You have to know how to collect it. I had this on YouTube, but I took it down. Why? Because this is something you pay for. This is something for our members, not something that is circulated. So Norma, it's good you are here. You're not subscribed yet. You are going to subscribe. You're getting this free of charge. You are going to subscribe tonight. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. You place that here. You place that here. But guess what happened? You place this one here, but the price went down and you are still getting fractals. You want to trade the latest fractal, guys. If you placed it here, it didn't trigger. This was the next fractal. Move it here. And guess what happens? Guess what happens? It now triggered here. My goodness. This one did not trigger. Keep on moving until you get to the nearest or the most current or most recent fractal. This one was triggered. Well, the price broke. Well, if you placed it here, once the price breaks and closes above, that's where it will trigger. And guess what, guys? You don't have to use fractals. Anytime or anywhere you place the price, perhaps, if you have a different strategy or if you know a different strategy, aside the fractal, and you just place your price there, knowing that if the price breaks above that level, it's going to continue up or down. Because like I mentioned some time ago, some of us, well, not me, I don't really bother with psychological numbers. Some traders trade psychological numbers, and psychological numbers, usually would have to do with round figures, 6500, the trade such. I don't bother with that. I mean, who is going to be bothering looking at those figures? Anyway, you place your digit in there inside Supremo EA. If it breaks that price, it triggers. So you can see here, even if it was just an arbitrary place to place it, but you don't want to do that, guys. You want to be more sophisticated than that as traders. You want to be more sophisticated as traders. So, but I'm just showing you an easy way to do this. Use fractals and it will work brilliantly. So we tried this one. It did not break. This is the 1 hour candle. You would have had to be waiting a long time. So when the next fractal formed, and by the way, guys, just in case you don't know, fractals form, they paint on the screen, on the chart on their own. Once you basically add them to your chart, it now begins to paint. So this is where the current price is, and it's about, at the time of this recording, it's about 18 minutes past 8 in the UK. If you were to come tomorrow morning, by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, more candles are formed, you will see, I'm sure you will see that there will be more fractals that are formed. So you don't do anything to generate the fractals themselves. They come on the screen on their own. They come on the screen on their own. So we see here, it's trending up. You want to be buying when it's trending up. If it's trending down, you want to be selling. So we've just looked at going long. Going long means buying when the price is going up. Let's look at going short. Going short, we see here, the price is going down. It's consolidating here. You don't want to be trading it when it's consolidating. Most of our strategies, it's not for consolidation. Now, we see this one, it eventually breaks out of that consolidation area. So you place your price points there. You choose this price point, waiting for it to break. But what happens? It moved up. So you move along to the next fractal, waiting for a break. It moved up. Let's go to that one. Eventually, this one breaks it. Well, this is where I placed my line, so it won't trigger because it didn't close below it. This is where it will trigger because this closed below it. It would have been triggered. It came down. If you were going for 10 pips, it gave you 10 pips or more. If you were going for more pips, it pulled back, and then it gave you all the pips you wanted for that session. Now, is that easy or is that easy? You tell me. So let's just quickly, go through some things. I mean, I will be showing you other strategies and other ways in which to use this, but I'm just, showing you tonight how to use it trading fractals. One thing that would really help, guys, when we're talking of trends, we consider things like moving averages. That helps you, spot trends quicker, just in case you don't know. How do we pull up moving averages on our chart? Easy. You basically come here again, indicators list. Indicators list. You look for it there. Moving averages, I have it here because I use it as well. If it doesn't appear on the list here, just go to the rest of the menu. And you can see there are sub menus here. So if it doesn't appear here, just go to the rest and see. It's here, but if it wasn't there, you go to the next one. You see all that is there. These are things you should do anyhow. Just play around with your mouse and see what happens, so that you see what comes up, so you get more familiar with it. Guys, believe me, if you click on any of these buttons, your computer would not blow up. Your computer would not blow up. You might mistakenly, move some things out of place. Well, yeah, but I'm sure you can always come back to us in the VIP lounge to give you some assistance as to how to get things back in order. So let's put the moving average on there. Well, you could go with the 200, but let's go with the 50, which is more like a short-term thing. So we go with 50 period SMA. I usually like to have my 50 period as blue. And let's go with simple. You click on it there. So you can see, guys, let the guys in, let them in, let them in, let them in. They want to come in and hear some teaching, let them in. So you can see here, where are all my co-mentors? My goodness. Am I the only one doing the job tonight? Anyway, so basically we see here the moving average is below. If the price is below the moving average, obviously we know that's an uptrend. So you should be looking to buy only, not sell. Let's just go back in time, way back. back in time, back into time. Now listen to this, listen to this. See, anywhere you move the screen, you can tell whether there's an uptrend or a downtrend just by checking where the price is relative to the moving average. If it's above, it's an uptrend. It could be a short-term uptrend. Well, you can still trade it because you can see here, short-term uptrend, it would have still delivered a lot of pips for me. Now, this was the fractal candle. The fractal candle, you can decide to trade this even though it's just borderline. You know, I mean, after all, you're looking for a candle to close above it. Otherwise, you might say to yourself, I think I'll wait to have a definitive uptrend whereby it is definitely above the moving average, not so much just here. So even if you wanted to trade this one, you entered there, the break and close above that line, it triggers boom, bada boom, 30 pips. So you see, guys, this is exactly what I mean. Now let's go back to that, my trade. Well, it's just moved. Guess what? 19 pips, depending on your lot size, you can close out this trade and take profit and go to bed. Go to bed, wake up to get some more. I placed this on demo, like I said earlier on. I didn't trade it because I've closed shop for the day. I've made my profit for the day. Greed can kill. Greed can destroy your account, guys. You don't want to be greedy. If you got 5% or if you got 2% growth in your account, that's fine. I was just saying to somebody today, they were asking me, what should they be looking, how much growth, account growth should they be looking at? I said, well, if you're just starting out, if you can grow your account by 1% a day, that is good. I mean, how much do the banks give? Think about it. You place £2,000 in the bank. At the end of the year, how much will they give you? How much interest? You trade that with the broker, and you get 1% growth in a day. You should be happy. So if you're starting out, 1% growth is fine. Even if it doesn't get to 1%, any growth is growth. You are starting out. Don't rush it. But obviously we know as well, when you've been trading for some time, a bit longer, then we say begin to target anywhere between 2 and 5% increase per day. Like you guys know, I and some of the mentors, sometimes do 10% growth in a day, but don't be wanting to target 10%. If you see the opportunity on the chart, fine, you trade it and make your money. But if you are saying, oh, I must get 10% today, that is one recipe, for disaster. Basically trade only when there's a good setup. Don't force trades. I could say that all day and close tonight's session. Don't force trades. Wait for the good setup and enter. Wait for the best setup. We only took how many trades today? About 4 or 5. And I don't know about others, but I mean, I was done. I mean, we finished by about 10:30 or 11 today. We kind of like went on. I was done. I wasn't going to trade again. I was always around the chart doing other things, but I wasn't bothered. I wasn't moved because I've made my profit for the day and I'm done. Like I told some of you who were here in the morning, even with one trade, I grew my daughter's account by 5%. Obviously you guys know I tend to encourage us to open accounts for our daughters and spouses, and trade the accounts. I grew my daughter's account with one trade, one trade on NASDAQ 100. I grew the account by 5%. That was done. I grew my own account as well. I was okay with the percentage I got today. I didn't get 10%. I mean, it's not like I go every day thinking, 10% is what I want. No, that's not what it is. I just want to grow my account, and that should be fine. So what I am saying, guys, is basically, this can actually help you grow your account. The Frankfurter trade we take in the morning every single day, Monday through Friday, delivers. I mean, like Yemisi said the other day, obviously I can confirm that, okay, we're in a new week. So it's going into 3 weeks now. We've been trading the Frankfurter strategy for about 3 weeks now, and we've only really lost twice. Now, what kind of record is that? I can tell you guys, the hedge fund managers, those who trade for the big guys, hedge funds are companies that trade for millionaires and billionaires. When you have the Beckham, David Beckham, and I don't know what celebrities they are these days, if they are looking for where to trade, they go to the hedge fund, they trade for them, they give them a percentage. Believe me, if hedge funds get 15% in a whole year, they are excited. But here we are able to get an increase of even at least 1% growth a day. That is good. The Frankfurter is giving us, good results every day. This is just another, oh my goodness, another arsenal, as it were, coming, another weapon in your arsenal to use in winning the trades. So basically, even if you decide to just focus on trading the Frankfurter and trading, price level entry using Supremo, you will do just fine. My goodness. Okay, so I mean, it's basically, straightforward. I mean, just to quickly go over it again, just quickly, to bring it up, obviously you would already have it saved up here in the template section, under the template tab. These are all the different setups, or what do you call it? The different templates. I already have mine set up like so with the what's it called? With the arrowheads. Well, it's not called arrowhead, it's called fractals. Let me just add the moving average to it. So even as we see here, the price has been in a downtrend, but it's just broken above the moving average there. Each time you modify your template, you want to save it again as you want to save it again just to replace it, or else you'll be having to do that every time. Now, somebody asked a question earlier on, just to quickly show you. Just watch my screen, guys. This is the current price. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame, because note, guys, we trade this on the 1 hour time frame. We trade it on the 1 hour time frame. You can trade it on any time frame, but I start trading it. I start, using it on the 1 hour, because you can easily get your 10 pips from that, and you are done. We are going to look at more of this, over the coming weeks, to give you a better understanding of how to trade it. Even tomorrow morning, we would basically, look at it as well, to give you a better insight as to how to use it. Whatever nuances there are, we'll be looking at those as well. So this is the 1 hour time frame now. This is the current price, the current candle. Now, it could be you want to check something in the past. You want to do some back testing. You basically just hold your screen and move. See what happened, guys. When I let go, it clicks back into place. You can see this, the current candle. Whenever you're trying to move your screen, whenever you let go, it clicks back into place because it is locked here. You want to release it. You want to release it there by clicking on that one and this one. These two, you can see now. Let's be muted, please. So you can click on those, and you can then move your screen, and it will stop wherever you want to stop. It will not click back into place. Now, if you want to then bring it back to the current price, just click on these two buttons again, on these two tabs, like so, and it will bring you back here. So that's it for that one. But anyway, like I say, to add the fractal to your chart, And the moving averages, go to the indicator list and add them there, and it should be fine. You know, that's that. Let me see. So I mean, basically that's all I believe we would, you know, be looking at tonight. But obviously, whatever number you want to, wherever you want it to trigger, you have to place it under the price level entry. Be sure to choose that. You know, if you choose that, it will not, that's only when this will be activated. If you were to choose something else, maybe like Precision Trader Advanced, that would be a different strategy, a different entry strategy. You know, but if you are trading price level entry, so what I'll do, you know, maybe for some days, you know, whenever I see a setup, I could basically just type it in the VIP lounge, you know, for you guys to go check it out and possibly enter that trade. I mean, I am not going to be providing signals for this, you know, because it's straightforward. You know, that would be too much responsibility on me. Everybody has to take responsibility for their own Forex journey, guys. That's obviously the culture we are building here, because we all want to do well at this, do well to the point where we can actually help others. Yes, well, other members. You know, we don't go about teaching people how to trade our strategies. Our strategies remain with us, you know, because, you know, we are paid to be here. Anyhow, you know, so this is how you do it. Whenever you change your settings, click on OK, and it will be ready to go. When the price moves in that direction, it will pick up the trade and you'll be taking in. So that's it for this particular session. And I'm sure whatever questions we do have, you know, we can always ask and we will clarify whenever there's a training, you know, whenever we have a training session, and that should be just fine. Okay, so basically, you know, having, you know, looked at all that, we want to, as it were, you know, figure out where we'll place our stop loss. You know, if we're going with this, for instance, as a fractal we're trading, you could place it there. Obviously, we didn't get any fractal, we didn't get any price, you know, trying to break that high. You can go to the next one and place your, you know, place the entry there. This one went high, but it did not break it. It did not break it. There was the next fractal there. You could have decided to go with that, or this one. Notice that there are two fractals there. Yes, they are close, so you can basically go with any one really, you know, but let's go with this one just for the sake of it. The price that eventually broke above that was this one. You enter the trade, obviously, you know, Bob's your uncle there. Now, how about the stop loss? Where do I place the stop loss? I would consider, well, I will place it below the opposite fractal. Let's make this solid. Let's make that solid. So basically, that's the entry. That's the fractal we use, you know, as entry. That's the price that broke it. If you consider the price that broke that fractal, just look left for the fractal that is pointing in the opposite direction. In this case, it's a bullish move in the market. You will look for the bearish fractal, which is this one. Place your stop loss slightly below that, and you know, you should be fine. I mean, the thing is, this is going to require some practice as well. So if you have to, as it were, if you have to move your chart back in time and just, you know, basically see how things would have played out if you had entered any trade, that's back testing. That would definitely, you know, do you a lot of good, you know. But one of the ways, you know, to actually do this is to place your stop loss, you know, just below the last fractal. If, for instance, you feel that the fractal, you know, the opposite fractal is quite close to the entry, you could decide to, you know, move it a bit lower. The good thing about this is that Once the price has broken above the 50, it's most likely going to continue anyway. So, you know, placing your fractal below would most likely be a safe place to place it. Let's just look at one more example, maybe for a sell this time. Let's look for an example for a sell. Let's consider this bit, you know, it wasn't broken. We moved it here, it wasn't broken. We moved it here, it wasn't broken. That was the last fractal. This was the one that broke it. So you would enter, you were triggered in here. If you look left, the last fractal pointing in the opposite direction was this one. You basically come and place your stop loss there and you should be fine. Well, I know, you know, it's a risk reward of like 1.5 to 1, but believe me, most of the time you would win that trade. So if that triggered here, well, at the close of this candle, really, you know, you placed your fractal here, but it will trigger at the close of that candle. You know, basically it moved up and down, but at least, you know, up and down and gave you your 10 pips. If you trade this on the 1 hour time frame, guys, most of the time you will get 10 pips, especially if you are trading it on major pairs. You know, if you don't know what a major pairs is, I suggest you do a Google search. Just type in Forex, major Forex pairs, and you will see there are about 6 of them. You know, if you trade it on those ones all the time, well, most of the time you will get your 10 pips. You know, just at the move of a few candles, you get your 10 pips. And, you know, you're going to do very well with these guys. So practice, practice, practice. How do we identify these fractals? Okay, you know, to identify the fractals, obviously the fractals here, you know, they come as default with the MT4. They come as default with the MT4. You basically go to your indicator list, go under Bill Williams. He's the man responsible for all these indicators. You will see it there and you click on it. But you can see mine anyway. When I go to my template, when I go to my indicator list, it's already there because once you have used it once, it will stay there. You know, you can pick it up from there. But if you go under Bill Williams, it would come up. Now to take it off, you can just go there. You can go there, right click and delete indicator. If you want to bring it back on, you click on it there, it comes on. But you know, you can also take it off by right clicking anywhere on the chart, go to indicator list and delete it from there. You know, so that's the way to do it. That's the way we do it. So you can see, guys, it is straightforward. We can definitely have a look at this and, you know, do some back testing and you'll do very well. Okay, guys, I mean, that's it for this session, you know. And
sorry, so can I just ask one question, please?
Okay, carry on.
Regardless of the time, can we trade this anytime?
Well, you can. I mean, obviously, you know, that's a brilliant question. I mean, obviously, you know, because you are looking to trade the breakout, you are wanting to trade when there is enough volume in the market. That is not to say that you cannot trade it even during the Asian session, because a breakout is a breakout. You know, let's just, you know, let's just pull up, just to prove something. Let's pull up a chart that would help us identify the Asian session. Let's look for the wealthy place. Let's look for the wealthy place. Okay, so here we definitely have, you know, all 3 sessions. Okay, we know this is the Asian session between here and here. You know, this is the 5-minute time frame. So definitely you will find it on any time frame. You can see here it's all over there, even though I don't exactly recommend you trade on a 5-minute time frame. But what we're going to do, we're going to mark the beginning of this Asian session, which is meant to be the slowest session. So this is the Asian session. Let's go to the 1 hour now. 1 hour time frame. Oops. Okay. Right. So we can see here, it was between here and here. I mean, I know it's kind of like busy. So let's take it off. Let's take off the wealthy place indicator. So we can see between here and here, we still got one. Well, we got two. We got a bullish one and a bearish one. So if you had placed your, I mean, those in the US obviously can trade this, and those obviously in Asia. If you have placed your entry there for a buy, you know, like I say, a breakout is a breakout, even if it happens in Asian. Although in the Asian, because it's slow, it could break out like a false break and then go back in. Let's have that there. And this would be for the sell. Obviously on this occasion, not the sell. The sell was not what triggered because, you know, it was an uptrend. I mean, we can see if we pull up our moving average, it was indeed an uptrend in this area anyway. Before then, it seemed like a downtrend, but here was an uptrend. So we see here, this was the candle that broke it, and boom, 40 pips. You know, like I say, I mean, I scalp with it, but I also take long-term trades with it. Obviously, combining it with price action, you know, I can tell this is a move up, you know, let me go for more pips. Otherwise, if I don't have time, you know, during the day, or well, I don't trade at night really. If I don't have time during the day, I basically just jump in for a quick scalp and, you know, and there we go. So, I mean, you know, this is basically the signals. I mean, obviously, you know, EMC has taken some of these trades from me before. When I say go for 10 pips and no more, this is basically the strategy, one of the strategies I use for that. You know, it delivers most of the time. So it's going to be awesome, guys. It's going to be awesome, awesome, awesome with this. I mean, like I say, you can basically stick to just this strategy and one other strategy, and you'll be fine collecting your pips every single day. Just have a number of pairs open. If one chart doesn't give you a setup, well, because obviously if you see sometimes when there's like here, for instance, when this fractal was painted, you know, these were all 1 hour candles, which means you didn't get any opportunity of a break for 7 hours, for up to 12 hours, there was no, you know, no break of that anyway. As a matter of fact, from here all the way, there was no break, 25 candles as a whole day. You know, what do? You basically move to a different chart and see if there's a setup, or sometimes you can just leave it. Even if you saw this one, you left it there for the whole day, it didn't break out. But when it eventually broke out, yes, it would have given you your 10 pips, but then it pulled back. You would have placed, I mean, well, you would not have known where to place your stop loss because it was like 24 hours, wasn't it? That's why I will use it for scalping unless I'm willing to enter here and place my stop at the very swing, at the swing low. Obviously, you know, this would have been profitable for me, which means I was willing to go for a 40 pip stop loss, knowing that with this setup anyway, it was going to be giving me a lot of pips, because if I entered here, I would have been targeting this high, which is like 20 something pips, a 40 pip drawdown, which might not have been hit on this occasion, was not hit. I would have gotten all my pips and more. You know, so that's it. I don't know if there are any more questions, any final question, one more question if there's any, and we will call it a night. Right. So that's it for this, you know, training, guys. You know, feel free to ask your questions, you know, during the live trading or training session. But if you have to go over this over and over again, do some back testing. If you have to test it out on demo, do just that. It's a highly profitable strategy, and I'm sure you will do beautifully with this. Okay, I'll catch you in the next maybe live trading or training session. Bye now.